welcome back. So, just gonna make a quick video, going to sleep soon. But I've stayed completely silent about this topic until now, for reasons. But it obviously gets to the point where you just can't stay quiet anymore because things start to get a little bit ridiculous. But one of the pages I follow on Instagram, great guy, Anon66, put up a post today, and I'm going to read it, and these are his words, so please excuse the language. Liberalism is a fucking mental disorder. We can't spank our kids for fear of going to jail for child abuse, but this is okay in their cockeyed view of the world. 4 adults are pictured and not one of them thinks this is fucking weird. Let that sink in. And it's a photo of a child paying a male stripper at a party. And, you know, most people are gonna just keep ignoring these things. Most of us are gonna, you know, obviously start to pay attention because this obviously isn't very godlike things to be occurring in our country, especially when God is supposed to be the focus, and then people wonder why the country was collapsing for the last couple of decades because, you know, they've removed God from basically everything, and then the churches aren't any better. So when you have God removed from schools, from movies, from music, and you know, like Kanye West said about a decade ago, if I talk about God, then my records won't get played. Huh? It all ties in to what we see in the news, what we see going on around the world. And the mindset for most people is that nothing can get better, which also doesn't sound very godlike. God didn't create a world for it to be destroyed by its inhabitants. So it is up to the people to decide if they're going to stand up and say, okay, maybe we shouldn't be living this way, or we're just going to sit around and continue letting it spiral out of control. Can you imagine if we didn't have the internet, where I can sit here and reach thousands of people and give them this information? I can't even imagine what it was like just a couple of decades ago when things were happening, and the only way to hear about it is from the corrupt media, the fake news media, as we all know. That alone is a scary thought. That if without the internet, for us to reach each other, for us to communicate instantly, because that's what it is, it's instant communication, just at the touch of a device. So, are we going to continue letting these things happen? Are we going to let these people, because this is what happens, right? They're like, oh, well, we're just going to take the rifles. We're not going to take anything else. Why are you guys so worried? We're only going to allow gay marriage. What are you guys worried about? Why are you scared? Because they never stop. They continue. They don't stop there. They want to get their full agenda across so that they can be in their little safe space. And obviously, that's an issue. Because most people don't agree with children paying a male stripper at a party. And they call us crazy. They call us bigots and racists and women beaters and rapists. Anything they could throw to the Republican Party, they're going to do it because they are the ones doing it. And this is the perfect example. Didn't they call Trump a pedophile? But they allow things like this to occur. And then we're supposed to sit around and just take it. We're supposed to sit around and let the children be destroyed while the country is being destroyed, while our country went around blowing up other countries and destroying those countries all at the same time. And we're supposed to sit around and take it. Oh, we're just going to take the rifles. And then the rifles disappear, and it's like, oh, well, we want the pistols now, and you don't have rifles to fight. This is history, and this is the problem with them not teaching us anything in schools. They don't teach us real history on how countries fell apart. Look at Venezuela as the perfect example. 2012, they eliminated all the guns. 2019, they're getting run over by tanks in their streets. One of the richest countries in South America, completely destroyed within a decade. Now, did Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama have something to do with that? Yeah, absolutely. They were very involved in Venezuela, just not too long ago. And now we have to go in and fix their mess. It's the same thing with Afghanistan, Iraq. It doesn't matter where you look. It's all the same. So, obviously my question to the 300 people or 220 subscribers that I have is, are we going to allow these things continue, or are we going to start making laws and or maybe just bringing God back to the front where he should be and not involved in so much gossip and movies and entertainment and drama that everybody likes to be caught up in, and actually going back to what was intended and not what they have created, these sick little monsters that we have running our country. Because it is their fault. The Democratic Party is the sole responsibility, or solely responsible, I'm going to have to cut that out, for what is occurring in the country right now. Because it sure ain't the Republicans. We want nothing to do with these disgusting human beings. You want to use children that way? You want to bring children in from Mexico so that you can do whatever you want with them? You deserve to be hung for stuff like that. It's one thing to have a preference with someone your age. But once you start breaking that barrier is when you've gone way too far. And me of all people, I'm good. I don't mind anyone in the LGBTQ plus community. What's the problem? It's not a problem with me. They're not doing anything to me. They're living their life. But when you start involving the children, isn't that... I gotta get the verse real quick. Why not? Children to enter the kingdom of heaven. I don't like all these different translations. Well, that's... Hold on. That was a terrible translation. Matthew 18:2-4. He called a little child to him and placed the child among them and said, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." Do you think God wants children paying male strippers? And if you go to church and you claim to be a Christian and all of these things and you are silent in times like this, don't think God isn't noticing that either. You are complicit. You are just as bad as the people committing these crimes. So that's something to think about. All right, I'm done. Catching feelings.